Hey y'all, Laura here with Cox Homestead, and in this video we are going to be talking about making rabbit bone broth. You may have realized that I am not in a normal location for recording videos. This is my kitchen. It's nothing fancy. I don't have great lighting. There may be some shadows on me, but I wanted to come to the place where we actually work with our rabbit meat. And this is it. I'll even show you the behind the scenes to let you know that this is a working kitchen, not a studio full of pretty pictures. This is the real view of my kitchen and what it looks like to have a real farmhouse. Actually, this is making breakfast before church and not doing the dishes afterwards and putting everything off the bar so I would have a clean space to work and record. So not want to hide a thing. This is real life back here. So in this video, I'm going to talk about making rabbit bone broth in this. This is a roaster oven, an electric roaster oven, and it's huge. I use this when I'm doing a lot of bones all at once and I want to immediately throw them into bone broth. Last Saturday, I cut up 12 rabbits and I debone everything on those rabbits except for the front arms. So I have back legs in here, I have back straps, tailbone, shoulder, rib cage, all the bones you can think of, but minus these front arms on my rabbit. 12 rabbit bones filled this roaster oven, and I then covered them in water and added about 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar helps break down the cartilages and the collagen in the bones to extract vitamins and minerals like calcium and magnesium. So it is your helper when it comes to making bone broth. But you don't just want any apple cider vinegar. You want apple cider vinegar with the mother, raw and unfiltered, and ideally organic if you can get your hands on it. Bragg's is the popular brand that most people know. This just happens to be Simple Truth, which I pick up at my Kroger, and it's a little bit more affordable than the Bragg's, but either choice is great, but you're gonna need this as your helper. I did this large roaster oven of bone broth completely plain, just bones and ACV, because I wanted a very versatile bone broth here. Before we go any further, I want to say that I am not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist. I am not a chef. I am a homesteader in my kitchen using the animals that God has given me to raise. That being said, there are some people out there that have a histamine intolerance and they don't process things like bone broth well, or yogurts or kefirs or things like that. If you notice when you eat those things, you're itchy, you're uncomfortable, you're having a reaction, bone broth might fall into that. There has been a time in my life where I could not consume bone broth because my histamines were out of control. I've gotten those under control now and I can enjoy some bone broth, but I wanted to pause here and tell you that bone broth isn't for everyone. Some people think it's the cure-all for everything, but I have found that your body has to be in good working order in order for it to absorb the bone broth and use it. Moving on, I did a plain bone broth so I could use it in anything and salt it as I wished or as little or as much as I wanted later on when I went to go use my bone broth. So I filled this all the way full of bones. I covered it in cold water and then I added my apple cider vinegar and kind of gave it a little stir around in there to kind of get that working through. And then I plugged in the roaster and let it heat up. I did it on about, let me turn this around here. I put it on about 250 to start with because I wanted it to get nice and hot and boiling. And once it got to that point, then I would turn it down to about 200, especially at night. I ended up roasting these bones and water and apple cider vinegar for about 2 days. 24 hours should get the job done. Where I was busy when the first 24 hours was up, I thought, I'll wait till tomorrow. And I just turned it down low, kept it at a simmer, made sure it still had plenty of water. You don't want those bones sitting out in the open and the water going down too low or you'll have some burning and problems. You don't want that. So I made sure my water level was good, and it was, and I just simmered it for 2 days. Then I take and strain off all the bone broth and I let that cool a little bit before I go any further with it. After I have let the bone broth cool some, you don't want to all the way cool, or it'll gelatize and be harder to work with. I put it in quart jars, and actually I use breast milk bags to store my bone broth in because they're so easy to thaw and use right away in any recipe. So I don't want too hot of liquid going into those plastic bags. If I don't have breast milk bags, I'll freeze them in pint jars or quart jars and just make sure I'm leaving plenty of room at the top for expansion, as when you freeze the bone broth, it will expand within the jar. My only complaint about freezing bone broth in jars is that it takes a little bit longer for it to thaw. So you have to plan ahead a little bit when wanting to use it, because I don't thaw things in the microwave. And I'm assuming if you're here, maybe you don't either. And so keep that in mind. If you do decide to use bone broth in jars, I would encourage you to use a wide mouth pint jar or a jelly jar, so it doesn't have that little lip on it. So you just have to get it thawed enough to where it will plop out of the jar. So I have strained off my bone broth, and I have all this bone and meat remains left. Some people will take and remove that meat from the bones and use it to eat as well. I do not. All of that I have goes to my chickens or my dogs. The reason being, I don't have all the time in the world to sit and pick that apart. Some people don't want to waste anything, and they have time to do that, or they make it a priority and they do that. For me, there's too many little bones and too much time involved to do that. So it all goes to the chickens or the dog, but you can save some of the meat from that and still go ahead and use it. So you're using the apple cider vinegar to extract all the nutrients. You're getting this very nutrient dense broth, and what makes this even better is there is some of that meat on the bones, so you're getting those nutrients from the meat as well as the bones. It is a powerhouse of bone broth for your body. It's so good for you. I will use it in soups. I will use it in mashed potatoes. I will use it when I'm making even greens like collard greens, kale, when I'm simmering those in the pan, steaming broccoli. I'll use the bone broth as my liquid in the bottom. I try and find all sorts of ways to sneak it in hopes that we'll just glean a little bit of nutrients off it as we use it. I am not a bone broth sipper. I will do that if I'm sick, but for the most part, I don't do a daily sip of bone broth. I just try and find ways to weave it in our diet already to get us the most nutrients as possible. I hope that I've covered everything here to let you know that this is a super easy process and a large amount you can make all at one time. If you do not have a roaster oven, electric roaster oven, you probably have a crock pot. Crock pot is how I normally make my bone broth. It's just as easy as this. You'll want to do it on high and make sure it doesn't simmer over and that your bones stay covered for at least, I say, 24 hours. And that's another simple way. I like this because I can do so many at once and then move on and not storing those bones in my freezer where they're taking up space. And I can know comfortably I can do up to 12 rabbits in this roaster oven. And I really liked it. It was nice to be able to get that much done at once, put that much in the freezer and move on. So if you have any questions or you've experienced making bone broth other ways, let me know. I know a lot of people use the Instapot. To me, that doesn't hold enough bones to get the job done for me. I'd have to do several rounds. I haven't really wanted to do this. I like this slower method of the crock pot or the roaster oven. And maybe you like the Instapot and want to share about that in the comments below. I'm sure people would love to hear from you. If you have questions, let me know. And until next time, eat more rabbit! Very tender, mushy bones, and so the chickens can easily eat them because they just kind of crumble in your hand. I'm not putting this in the right order at all whatsoever. I'm out here in my office, also known as the park, and my van, editing this YouTube video, and I couldn't help but notice that not one, but two cats walked down the hallway while I was recording. So I had to add that last little clip on there, and also to say that I recorded this video not once but twice because I couldn't get things in the right order and I couldn't get my words out. But I am trying my best for you because I love you.